is a magnetic drain plug, and there's definitely some buildup on the tip of that. There's some metal in here. That's not a great sign. We'll tackle this in a future video. So here we are, finally pulling the engine in the 135. Draining the oil again. Yep, still full of glitter. Taking off the front bumper, dropping the intercooler, dropping the coolant. We gotta remove this exhaust. And now we're tackling this intake. Big intake. You guys know that rat's nest that hides underneath that thing. Got that out of there. Now I gotta remove the ignition coils, take out the downpipe. Derek took out the radiator. And we got this thing back up in the air. Now we're just loosening up the power steering pump and the AC condenser. And here comes the transmission. You guys know some of those pain in the ass bolts up top there. And really as simple as that, we're wiggling this thing out of here. And just like that, we pulled the engine in less than a minute. I'm back after many months off on YouTube. And believe it or not, I actually just quit my job because I was working too much and it was eating me alive knowing I had this car and the channel just sitting on the back burner. This is truly my passion, and it was just eating me alive. One of those things where if I were to go to the grave and never truly get back into this stuff or give it a shot, I would have regretted it. So I really kind of made an impulse decision that I was gonna try this whole self-employed thing. I figured why not see if I can make a living as a content creator with the way social media is these days. I think that would be a lot of fun. So what better way to just get right back into things and show you guys I'm serious about it than to pull the engine in the 135 and dive straight into the content. Now, if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you should know this is actually the second motor for the 135. Back in 2017, I put on a set of MMP Stage 3 twin turbos, and shortly after, I blew up the original engine. It lost compression on one of the cylinders, and I was forced to replace it. So while I was deciding what to do, I said, you know what? I'm not that happy with these MMP twin turbos. I think I should try going single turbo. So I bought this engine from a junkyard. It had 90,000 miles on it, and I bought a Doc Race single turbo kit. Again, this was 6 years ago, so not a whole lot of people were single turbo. They were definitely out there, but no one was showing content on how to install them, what their experience was like, showing dyno numbers and that sort of thing. So that's what I decided to do. And in that time, I've learned a lot with this engine. I think I've been able to help you guys a lot by showing you what I'm doing with this engine, and we've set records together with this engine, so a lot has happened while this thing has been in the car. It definitely means a lot to me, so this thing owes me nothing. I have nothing bad to say about this. It's a stock engine that held way too much power for way too long, but now we're on to the next thing. Now I bet you're wondering, what happened to this engine? And the answer is, I don't know yet. Based on what you guys saw at the beginning of the video, there's definitely some internal knocking going on, and there's metal in the oil, which means there's internal damage. However, the compression test came back perfectly fine. All cylinders still held good compression, so I won't know until we dive into things. But what we do know is obviously something is damaged internally. If I had a guess, I think it could be a bad bearing in the bottom end or a bent rod, especially at this power level. I was at the limit of everything inside here. So I'm gonna get this thing on the engine stand and we're gonna tear this thing down in an upcoming video and find out what broke inside. So it's time for the next chapter. I'd love to get a built engine for this thing, but I just don't have the cash for that, being self-employed now. I gotta make every dollar stretch. So I'm probably just gonna get another stock engine from a junkyard, throw it in, and get this thing back on the road. Like I said, I'd love a built engine. I'd love to take this thing to the next level, but to get an engine that can handle 800, 900, maybe even 1,000 horsepower, you're looking at like $10,000. So I'd love to take it to the next level, but that 10 grand would just be for the engine. That doesn't even include getting a bigger turbo to make the extra power, a bigger clutch to hold that power, bigger fuel system, maybe standalone ECU. It's just a rabbit hole that I'm not willing to go down right now. So I think it's just gonna be another stock engine. I'll spend like maybe 2 grand on something totally freshened up, do the whole maintenance on it, drop it in, and get this thing back on the road. Now, I have thought about LS swapping this thing. That would be crazy, but I still feel like we have a lot of unfinished business with the N54. I mean, obviously we saw it can handle 750 horsepower in stock form for an extended period of time. So I'd love to get this thing back in the car. Now, I do think it would make for some great content to buy another BMW, like an E90, E92, maybe another E82, and LS swap it, because that is starting to become popular just like single turboing was 6 years ago, where there's cars out there that have done it and it looks really cool, but there's not a ton of information. So I think if we can get this back in the car, months go by, making content on this, in the future, I'd love to have an LS swapped BMW as well, because then I could compare the two. I'll have this car with the N54 making a bunch of power, and I could have an LS BMW that I can compare, you know, quarter mile stuff, roll racing stuff, drivability, and document the whole thing on how to LS swap your car. And the best thing is all of my friends, they're all LS guys. I have very few BMW friends in this area. They're all American muscle guys, and I just can't keep up with them anymore. They're running 8-second passes, and the guy you saw in today's video, his name is Derek. He's a good friend of mine. He's got a Camaro Turbo LS that just hauls ass. So I know that they would help me swap that in, and we'd put our own twist on it. So that's something to look forward to many months down the road. But just kind of wanted to chime in on that, because it is something that I think would be really, really cool. So I think that's enough rambling. I'm back on YouTube. I know I've said it before, but this time I'm not going anywhere. I literally have no other choice, because if I'm not making videos, I'm not making any money. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. There's a million ways you can support me. So here's gonna be my little sales plug. There is a link down in the description to my Patreon, where you can subscribe and get exclusive content for a monthly fee. Otherwise, I'll also have a link to Beamer Street. This is my own merchandise company where I have tons of different BMW apparel, which is perfect for you or your friends, including this awesome Beamer Street Bones hoodie. There's actually Index 12 injectors and N54 coil packs and spark plugs on this hoodie in the illustration. So if you want to donate some cash that way, where you actually get something physical out of it, you can do that too. Otherwise, I appreciate everyone who's just tuning in and watching these videos. It's free to keep supporting me like that. Just watch the videos, give me the thumbs up like button, comment down below, share these videos with your friends. I mean, please get these out there to your BMW friends, and then subscribe. Those things are all free things you can do to interact with my videos, and by doing that, you're gonna help the YouTube algorithm put my videos out in front of more people. So thank you so much for sticking around. If you stuck around to the end and you came back after months being off, just know this means the world to me, and I'm really excited to keep on going. So until I see you guys in the next video, peace.